on to a little bit of a player ratings. The season is over. The games are done. We now wait on the Club World Cup, but we've won a European Cup. We have finished in the top 4. There is nothing else to do this season than to rate the players that have been involved. Obviously, we're now looking onwards and forwards, but I thought I'd take a moment to look back on what has been. So without further ado, let's get into some player ratings for these players. As you can see, there are players such as Bettinelli, Chukwuemeka, Disasi, Cassidy and Vega, Chilwell, Kellyman. Those players I'm not going to rank. I'm not going to rate them because they've either not played or they've barely played or they're on loan somewhere else. We all know that, you know, Disasi's for the off-ski, and I would hope so too. But that's for another video. We're going to do keep, loan, sell. But today it is all about player ratings. So let's get on with it, shall we? Starting off with the goalkeepers, and I'm going to just go into it with both of them. Robert Sanchez, a bit up and down. A bit up and down. I think for the most part, I think he was more of a frustration to everyone. It's hard to say underperformer. Well, hard to say underperformer, but hard to say decent. This is a hard one to start on. Personally, I'd say it's time to go, but I'm going to say Jorgensen is definitely decent. I think for his part in the Conference League, definitely has done very, very well. Oh, man, Sanchez, I mean, statistically speaking, I'm sure you could find an argument to describe him as decent, but for me, it's time to go. I don't want him at the club. I don't want him as our goalkeeper. Call me harsh, whatever. I think I share the same viewpoint as a lot of Chelsea fans in that regard. For me, Sanchez, I just think we can do a lot better. I think we could do a lot better. Petrovic next season, namely, is someone that I would say is who I would rather over him, and I'd still prefer Jorgensen in the team over Sanchez. So yeah, it's time to go, Robert Sanchez. Moving on, we've got Tosin Adarabioyo. I'm going to put him as decent. I think, considering how much he came in for and the expectations that people had on him, I think it's been a decent season for him, to say the least. And not to mention, of course, winning silverware in his first year at the club. It's been a good season for him. And I must say, I really can't think of too many times where I've lost my temper at him. There'll be plenty of players, don't you worry. Next up, Reece James. It goes without saying, exceptional from him when he has played. Obviously, the usual, the typical stuff, the moments where, and this is for all competitions, by the way. This isn't just the Premier League. This is all competitions. But you know, James, he's been subjected to playing in the Conference League a little bit more than the Premier League in games that we would probably maybe prefer him to play in the Premier League. We saw that in the game against Forest. It worked for us. We then saw him come on in the second half against Betis in the final, and it worked. It worked a treat. So hopefully now he's got the whole summer. Obviously, we've got the Club World Cup, but we can see him recover fully if he isn't already completely fully recovered. Gain his fitness all the way up, ready for the new season. Don't want to see him playing too much in the Club World Cup, but I would imagine he's going to play quite a pivotal role, given that FIFA want us to play as many good players as possible. Benoit Badiashile, it's time to go, son. It's time to go. He played all right in the final, but it's time to go. I was a huge fan of Badiashile, but he infuriates me now. Whenever I see him play, I think we could do a lot better. I don't think he's a good backup. I think Tosin's a good backup. And I guess people would argue. I just realised that Chalobah is not on this list. So I might have to add him in just a minute. But still. Moving on, Malo Gusto. It's a no-brainer for me. It's time to go. But it is definitely an underperformer for sure. Arguably the biggest underperformer of the season. I would say, given what he was like in his first season, exceptional, to say the least. But now it's been anything but. It's not been decent. It's not quite its time to go, purely because I think that there is clearly still a player there. But I would be really disappointed to see him gone. But to say he's been anything better than an underperformer it's just crazy. Wesley Fofana, injury-ridden, but much more available this season. For me, decent. I think a lot of players are just going to kind of fit into this. Decent doesn't mean shit, by the way. Decent doesn't mean great. It's just kind of in the middle. Levi Colwill, I would argue, is just teetering on exceptional towards the end of the season. He definitely picked up towards the back end. But for me, and this is in no particular order, by the way, I just want to preface that this is just as I'm putting them in. Decent, again, from Colwill. Not an underperformer. I'd say at times, I would say he was very close to being underperformer because I've been slagging him off. But I'd say decent is as high as I'm willing to go. Cucurella, much again like Reece James, absolutely exceptional. Arguably player of the season, sort of player. In fact, I could see it. I could see it. He is my player of the season. He's one of my players of the season. The same does go for Caicedo there. Both of them absolutely fantastic. I would say Caicedo pips him to it, obviously, but I think Cucurella is an incredibly underrated player. Even with all the plaudits and all the applause that he's getting for his performances this season, I think, considering where he was a couple of seasons ago, goodness gracious me, from the depths, he has risen, and he is now an absolutely massive player for us. Another massive player for us is, of course, Enzo Fernandez, who fits nicely into that exceptional role. Again, another player who, I'll be honest, no, I couldn't stand him, but I couldn't believe it. I didn't understand the hype at one point. I was very excited for him to come in. I understood what he was about and what what was to be expected of him. And I just don't think we got that in the first season with him. But now I see him as and I tracked back. I apologized. I acknowledged the fact that he has improved significantly. And easily one of our like irreplaceable players. So the fact that he's been linked with a team like Real Madrid worries me to my core. However, I do think, especially after seeing what he was like in that Conference League final, getting the first goal, getting the equaliser, he's proper Chelsea, man. He's such a Chelsea player. It's ridiculous. Romeo Lavia, I would say, is decent, verging on exceptional, because when he did play, absolutely fantastic. I just think with the injuries again, it's hard to put him anywhere higher than decent, to be completely honest with you. But other than that, I'm very excited for next season if he is completely fit. If he can go the whole season without getting injured, absolutely fantastic. Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall. If you watched my pre-show and the final, to be fair, the pre-show and the watch-along for the final against Betis, you'll know that I thought, and I was adamant, I was angry. I was so angry that Dewsbury-Hall didn't start, especially once obviously the first half was an absolute shambles. I just imagined that someone like Dewsbury-Hall, who's done all the work, done all the hard work to get us to the final, to then see other, more senior or more first team players ruining it for him. Obviously that didn't end up being the case. He came on, got an assist. I think it was indicative of how good a performance he has been this season. For me, decent. And I think a lot of people need to put some respect on Dewsbury-Hall's name. He's by no means one of our best players. He just does the job. He just does the job. In Premier League, he's not been amazing, but in cup games, he's been fantastic. And that is a word I would use, is fantastic. Cole Palmer, man. Cole Palmer. He's not player of the season. And I just don't know if he's been exceptional. He was at the start. I just feel like he got sussed out. It didn't work in the position that he was playing in, being made to play in. But then in that final against Betis, I think we saw exceptional behaviour from him. And so for that, I think he does just by the skin of his teeth. I think he gets into exceptional. Maybe some of you are saying, nah, that's a little bit too much, but I would very much say it's been an exceptional one for him. And hopefully, fingers crossed, it can be an even better one next season. Back to cold ways. Pedro Neto. Now, here we are getting into some of the players who, in fact, I'll move these about because Mudryk, obviously not someone who played that much, but it's going to be hard to rank him. So I've got him right at the end just in case. But we got Pedro Neto. I would say decent. I know people would say that he was underperforming. He's very on the cusp. He's very, very on the cusp for me. Man. Oh, it's hard. I'm going to put them both in decent. Put both Madueke and Neto in decent, but just know I'll be coming back to them in just a second because I'm unsure. Jadon Sancho, for me, it's time to go. I'm saying it's time to go for him purely because of the loan situation. I personally wouldn't buy him. I don't see why we would. I know he scored in the final. Whoop-de-fuck. You know what I'm saying? I just don't like watching. I don't like his style of play. The amount of times he's one of those wingers who loves to run, turn back, play it back. Run, turn back, play it back. He takes so long to pass, so long to release the ball. It's always too little too late. Yeah, he scored a couple of bangers this season, but it's all been in pretty fucking small games other than the final, which was already pretty much wrapped up at that point. Not taking away from the fact that it was a great goal, but we'd won the game at that point, more or less. I know that it was to make it 3-1, but come on. Tyreek George, I would say, in context, it's been an exceptional year for Tyreek George. And I can't wait for the next season. Now, I'm not saying he's been one of our most exceptional players, but I'm saying in context to him, it's been an exceptional season. And based on what we've seen so far, I think he absolutely could be a future star for us, to say the least. He's got all the elements needed to be a really, really good player, and he is a good player. He really is. Christopher and Nkunku, get the fuck out my club. Mark Guiu, it's hard. It's hard to really rank him, to be honest with you, because he's been injured for the most part of this season. So, oh man, where do I put him? I can't rank him. So I'm gonna leave him in the unranked section. I can't rank him. Nicholas Jackson. Underperformer, I would say. It's not been a decent year for him at all. Come on. I'm not going to make him it's time to go. But I will say that it is hard to imagine a world in which he's our striker next season. You know, if he was decent or exceptional, we wouldn't be looking for new, replacements. Do you know what I'm saying? So, underperformer for him for sure. Obviously, he hasn't played. Achimpong, I would say, again, an exceptional season for him. Again, these are all in the context of them as a player themselves. I'd say it was an exceptional season for both of Tyreek George and Joshua Achimpong. Trevor Chalobah, I would say, for me, absolutely love Trev. I'd be really disappointed and really sad if we got rid of him. But I would say decent. I would say very, very decent. I would say one of our better defenders this season. And someone that we can rely on, realistically. If we're going, it's time to go. I'm doing keep loan sell, so keep an eye out for that video. But these are the player ratings for the players that have played a significant role this season. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Would you change anything? Would you put anyone anywhere else? What would you do with Pedro Neto and Madueke? I feel like they are the most likely to be moved about. But again, keep loan sell video coming out if it hasn't come out already. All the best. Please do like the video, subscribe, hit the bell notification to be notified of any future content on the channel. As always, my name is Harry. Up the chills and peace.